there any second thoughts about how the president went about selling this trade deal, and whether it just got too personal? Putting aside this accusation that he made a sexist remark, which seems off base, you know, there were times when he described his opponents in the Democratic Party as being dishonest, as being political, talked about Elizabeth Warren, Senator Warren in that fashion. And I'm just, in going out to the Nike factory, also rubbed people in the progressive wing of the Democratic Party the wrong way, because, you know, Nike, I know that they made that announcement about those jobs.
I will say it significantly undermines their argument, so I can understand why they may not have been pleased that the president was.
Those jobs are not guaranteed that they'll be happening, but
well, Nike said that they were.
Well,
are you suggesting that Nike's not telling the truth?
Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see if that occurs. But
yeah,
at the same time, they're a chief offshore of jobs.
Exactly the reason that the president went to that company to demonstrate that passing trade legislation like this would actually result in jobs being created in the United States, and that failure to do so and failure to engage only continues to give Nike an incentive to go and make investments overseas, as they have, which as you point out, has drawn the ire of progressives. So the point is that if you want to address, this dynamic,
finish my question. They feel burned by NAFTA. And I don't know if the president took that into account when he went out to Oregon and stood at Nike and talked about how this is going to create jobs. And at the same time, he's going after his opponents inside of his own party and suggesting that they're being political and dishonest. I don't think it's a stretch to ask you whether or not the president mishandled the politics of this within his own party.
Look, the point is, this is the debate that we want to have, because this is the substance of the debate, Jim. The fact is, we are well aware that there are people in both parties that have raised concerns about Nike's previous practices in terms of doing business overseas. And so the question right now is, what are we going to do about it? And what we see from progressives is a lot of complaining about it. What the president has said is...
Isn't the president progressive?
Yes, and this is what the president has said. Let's go do something about it. Let's go engage in a region of the world where we can raise labor standards, we can raise environmental standards, and the result of that will be that companies are going to invest in the United States. And we have prima facie evidence that a company like Nike that had previously done a lot of their business overseas, that when given the opportunity to work on a level playing field, that they're going to create jobs in the United States of America. That's exactly the point that the president is trying to make. And that's how the president can make the case that advocating the most progressive trade bill that's ever been contemplated by the Congress is entirely consistent with our values as progressives. That if we care about business, and if we care about middle-class families, and if we care about American workers, what we want to do is we want to engage the world to create more opportunities for American workers back here at home. That's exactly what this bill would do.
But the other accusation that bugged people on the left is going after Senator Warren for saying that the TPP is being crafted in secret. And I know you're saying that there are senators who can go into behind closed doors and read this thing.
That's right. That's not true.
But why not put it online so everybody can read it? Why not?
And we've been very direct about why this is the case, Jim. There's no agreement. Nothing is agreed to until everything's agreed to.
What could the senators possibly read?
What the senators are reading are the documents, the sensitive documents that are currently being negotiated.
You can't put that online. You can't make
No, Jim, because we wouldn't put forward an agreement that everybody hasn't agreed to. That certainly wouldn't be fair to the U.S. position, and it wouldn't be fair to the position that's being negotiated by our partners. So that's precisely because we haven't agreed to everything until they have too. But here's the good news, and this is. But here's let me finish my answer. I let you finish your question. Let me finish my answer. The other no, that's not the case, Jim. It'd be secret if nobody knew what was in the agreement. And the fact is, the administration knows what's in the agreement, and every member of Congress who is responsible for casting a vote can actually read every single word that's currently being negotiated. And the fact is, before the president is able to sign a final agreement, if one is reached, the public will have the opportunity to read it online for 60 days and to weigh in and articulate an opinion. And there'll be an additional several months before Congress would actually weigh in with their view too. So there will be ample opportunity for individuals all around the world to review the agreement before the president signs it and before Congress has to weigh in. That's why the claims of secrecy are just not true. And I guess this is the last thing. If people do want to raise a substantive objection to pursuing this strategy, then they should stick to the facts. We're interested in a substantive debate. And the
Senator
president
Warren is still not sticking to
and
facts.
the president's point is that we should have a substantive debate on this, but we don't have to say things that aren't true in order to have this debate.
All right, and I did not intend